You know, we are here where, you know, so many people standing around the block here, frustrated residents, people who perhaps have families who lived in the building and now are trying to find their loved ones. There was a woman earlier in tears throughout the day trying to find her daughter, her 24-year-old daughter. And these are some of the really, harrowing stories of people who are affected by this devastating fire. But yes, we heard from Gift of the Givers earlier on, who were on site and carrying out help to at least assist the firefighters who had been working since the early hours of the morning, but also, promising to assist the victims of the fire as soon as it was handed over to police, or at least disaster management. And so, but there are a number of groups and organizations who look interested in at least helping some of the victims. And it is people have died, but also people have been injured. And the question is, are people going to receive at least enough medical care? We know some have been taken to hospital and are receiving care, but some had burns, and things that they needed to just deal with in the moment. But I have with me one such organization which is trying to provide assistance on the ground here, especially to burn victims. Sister Jenny from the Burn Foundation. Sister, you've been trying to assist here on the ground. You came here. What kind of help are you providing here?
Thank you, Katleho. We are Sister Jenny Burn Foundation. I'm actually Sister Jenny. And we came here, we heard about this tragedy. We were actually at a network function at Hirsch's and we heard about it. And we just dropped everything and came immediately. And when we got here, most of the victims had been taken to hospital. But there were some people, the paramedics were just knocking off or they were finishing off. And we sat on the road and we found people came to us and said, we've still got a burn, we fell down the steps or we jumped out the building, they had fractures or injuries. So this is Katleho, my business partner in Sister Jenny Burn Foundation. She's been assisting me. We've been working very hard doing dressings on the street. It's been very difficult, but we absolutely love to help people. That's, 30 years ago I developed a cream specifically to heal burn victims and wounds. It's actually a hand cream, but it has this healing property. And so we've been dressing the wounds. I'm a professional nurse for about 45 years now, and I'm joined by a team of nurses, professional nurses, doctors, physios, trauma counselors, all people who've been using the products for the last 10 to 15 years. And we started a foundation together, Sister Jenny Burn Foundation, and our aim is to help people. So we came here and we really feel we've achieved our goal. We've helped a lot of people, but also we do counseling. We don't just do dressings and stuff like that. We do what we call ECTOS, which is education to prevent burns or education to treat the wounds. And while we were doing the dressings now today, we're teaching them about hygiene and how to keep the wounds clean. Because, if their wounds get infected, they can lose their limbs. It's a total disaster. We also do diabetics as part of our Burn Foundation. And so we were teaching them how to do the wound care, and we also teach them to prevent burns. And then we do counseling, and today we had to do a lot of counseling. A lot of people lost loved ones and crying and traumatized. Somebody lost a 2-year-old child. It was just heartbreaking. And Katleho has been absolutely unbelievable. The people really felt they could trust us. At one stage they didn't want to go to the shelter, and then we spoke to them and they all agreed to go to the shelter because they realized it's for their best interests. They have to have a roof over their heads.
Certainly. Sister Jenny, it's so interesting what you've mentioned there in terms of the taking care of the wounds, or the sort of, not pushing aside, but those people who didn't sustain those big wounds, who were taken to hospital, are sort of left by the side, and you saying those people need to be taken care of.
Paramedics did as much as they could. Yeah. When we came, there were 3 people in the ambulance that had minor injuries. But then we went to the car to go get our wound care and our creams. And by the time we came back, they had left. And then we just went, we found all the victims. And, they were in a terrible state. But I just sat on the pavement to make them feel comfortable. And the next thing, I had a clinic on the road, and everybody was bringing me their Well, I'm a nurse. As you can see, I'm wearing my epaulets. And they were bringing me all their wounds, and we brought all the right equipment. I must mention another organization that really tried to help, and they couldn't find the victims. They left, and that was medicine. Let me say it in English, Doctors Without Borders. They were here. There was a whole team of them, and they wanted to assist us, but they were having difficulty finding those who were injured. So eventually they left. And then, as I said, I sat on the pavement and came down to their level. And the next thing, everybody came and said, my foot sore, I jumped out the building, I've hurt my ankle, I got a burn, and we were treating their wounds and their burns and their injuries. Yes. And we have the products that can heal all those things. And we're just grateful that we could make a difference. And I must thank the paramedics, Gift of the Givers. Everybody's really made a huge effort. This is one of the most tragic things I've ever been at. I've been trying to run the Burn Foundation for many years now. It's been an absolute dream of mine, but it's really now taking shape, and we've helped many, many people, even helping people in Canada with diabetic wounds that would lose their legs. So we're just grateful to be here. Thank you. And I just hope all the burn victims will be healed.
All right. Thank you, Sister Jenny. Tembi, you heard it there from Sister Jenny, from the Sister Jenny Burn Foundation, helping burn victims, especially, as she mentioned, the people who perhaps were not treated by paramedics on the scene immediately, and just taken to the side and just helped in terms of dressing their wounds, and also educating them in terms of keeping those wounds clean throughout this process. So these are some of the repercussions or the consequences of this fire. And I mean, we'll see this throughout the weeks, that people perhaps coming out of hospital still having injuries, but at least having the education to take care of themselves since this tragic incident.